Welcome to our channel, Million Dollars Made Easy. Folks, on this channel, we create spreadsheets that can actually change your life. When you see the actual numbers, you're simply gonna be amazed. What we do is use the actual historical returns for the S&P 500 for the last 100 years, and we simply project ahead what similar returns might do for you in the future. Folks, I wish everybody 20 years old and younger could see these numbers. Why do I say 20? Because that's when they have the time that compounding can really make a huge difference in their future. Let's say, for example, you're 20 years old and you can save just $200 a month, and you see the $200 going down through here and can increase that by 3% a year. Say you're taking your first full-time job and you can save $200 a month. Watch what you might have in the future. Again, if the returns were like what they've done for the last 100 years, we're going to go ahead and update this, and you're going to see just amazing numbers. Right now, we got 1925 numbers going forward. And you can see the summary box right here. This is what you would have after 35, 40, and 45 years. You see that? Somebody that's 20 years old, by the time they're 65 years old, they have $3.215 million. If the numbers going forward were like 1925, obviously they won't be identical. But look as I go down through here. 1926 numbers after 45 years, $3.1 million. 1927, 3.3. In fact, you can see the numbers going down through it. These are the numbers that are in this column right here. 45 years from now, they would have put in 222,000. But look at that. The red row right here is the worst case scenario in each of these time periods. And the worst case scenario for the last 100 years for a 45-year period would be $2 million. And the median in this column would be 3.298. Isn't that incredible? Just $200 a month. Here's the actual graph showing for the 1927 numbers. 1925, 1926, 1927, 1928. Doesn't matter what year I pick. Do you see something that's happening? It just plain shoots up. That's the compounding effect if you can be in it for 45 years. In fact, if we look at even a 36-year period, say somebody's 30 years old and starts doing this, 36-year period, 77% of the time, color coded in green, you'd get to $1 million. 8% of the time, color coded in blue, you'd actually get to 2 million. You wouldn't quite get to 3 million. Is this a short period of time? But look what happens as we go down out through it. Just watch this box right here. How many times you get to 1 million, 2 million, and 3 million as I click on this? 38 years. Now 100% of the time you're getting to 1 million. Why? Because the worst case scenario in the last 100 years for a 38-year period, you'd have 1,048,000. The median in this column is almost 1.5 million. 16% of the time color coded in blue, you'd get to 2 million. And 2% of the time you get to 3 million. How about the 40-year column? Again, somebody may be 25 years old. Look at the numbers now. 100% of the time to 1 million. 39% of the time color coded in blue, you'd actually get to 2 million. And 5% of the time you get to 3 million. Watch what happens when we hit 42 years. Now we're 78% of the time getting to 2 million and 12% of the time getting to 3 million. But watch what happens when we finally go out to the 45-year period. 100% of the time to 1 million, 100% of the time to 2 million. Why? Because the worst case scenario is 2,018,000. But 68% of the time, you'd get to $3 million color coded in gold. Again, that's why we titled this video, somebody could just start this when they're 20 years old and save just $200 a month and increase that by 3% a year. These are the kind of numbers they can look at. Now, we always want to take into account inflation. So that's what we do in this. Every one of our spreadsheets, we take into account inflation. These are the buying power of these amounts down here. So obviously in 45 years, this $2 million is not going to have the same buying power, but you still have $533,000 in buying power. There's 3.298, 872,000 in buying power in 45 years. But just look at these numbers, folks. It doesn't take that much. Can you imagine if you saved just a little bit more or maybe increased it by a little bit more, what you would have after these time periods? The key is get the money in there so you can see this compounding effect, because no matter what year I pick, you're going to see just amazing graph. Sometimes you have some down years. Sometimes you have some drastically down years. But look how it comes back if you can just be in it for a 45-year period. Folks, that's what we do on this channel. We just want people to see these numbers, just to show them what the compounding effect can do. This is actually a 35-year graph using 1929 returns, which was depression type returns, saving just $250 a month, and you'd have over $2 million. That's after only 35 years. If you're age 30 and can do this kind of savings, $250 a month, and you get returns as bad as the depression type years, you'd have $2 million. But folks, that's what we do on this channel. Please consider subscribing, sharing, liking these videos. Let people know there's a video out there, there's a channel out there that'll create spreadsheets and run numbers for you just to show these amazing results that you can see when we actually have a long period of time, 35, 40, or 45 years, and you can see these kind of numbers with as little as $200 a month. Please tell your friends about it. Please like the video, and thanks for watching.